Hi, I'm Pete.
And I'm Nat.
And this is the Hire Yourself podcast. Each day we will publish a short episode on franchising and owning a business. These small bits of information will help you be a better entrepreneur and business person. Between us, we have 75 years of experience and have owned and ran 9 businesses and counting.
Hey, I'm Sean Smith, and I'm the producer of the Hire Yourself podcast. You'll hear from me each episode because I will introduce the topic that Nat and Pete will be talking about. Each episode will be based on a question I have about franchising, since I know pretty much nothing. And the question for this episode is, do you tend to see more males or females inquiring about franchises?
So when we talk about people we work with, a good portion of them are males. I don't know why, but roughly I think it's probably, for me, it's probably 70%, 75% males, 25% females. And I see that trend going up. I'm even seeing more females now as more females are in executive or leadership roles in companies as they look to kind of have the next phase of their life. And so we're seeing kind of, I think, a trend of more very strong, very decisive women deciding to invest in a franchise. But for right now, it is skewed more towards males. But I see that changing, and it's really cool.
And do you think it's changing because more females are rising up to that level of executive, and so it's that demographic of people who are usually franchisors is changing?
I do. I think, females, they have really done a nice job of coming up the corporate ladder. And now it's just much more acceptable in today's world for them to be in these leadership roles. And it should be that way. And so as they're leaders and they've got this acumen and these leadership skills, it's just natural for them to also be leaders in their own businesses.
That's a great question, Sean. I would say, we see a pretty good mix between men and women. Typically, they're going to be corporate executives. I've worked with quite a few women that maybe, have been out of corporate for a little while, and they're looking, instead of going back into corporate, they're looking to have a little bit more control. So they want to have their own business, build a team. It really, there's a business or a franchise for everybody, in my opinion.
One of the things that we're seeing now also is that for couples coming to us, and maybe one of the spouses had a corporate job and the other one was staying home with the kids and kind of working inside the house. And now that the kids are grown, they're looking together to invest in a business, and the person that's kind of been traditionally running the household is going to run the business. And it's kind of a cool thing. So we see that. I see that a fair amount of time, and that's great. I'm just trying to talk my wife into doing that, but she's not on board with that yet. But I think that we're seeing a greater trend of spouses deciding to take in the lead on the business.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this or any of our episodes, please subscribe to the podcast. And it would be absolutely amazing if you give us a rating and review. We hope you listen to us again tomorrow.